mechanic, huh? What a mechanic.
Why was that a yes? Oh my God. Oh
Mhm.
God almighty.
It's the hideout. The hideout.
The IRA, the black and tan hideout.
Yeah.
Right?
The IRA, not the black and tan hideout. They were hiding from the
IRA.
black and tan.
Yeah. That's right.
What else? What year was that about?
Well, but in 1917,
That's something.
that's what Mother and Catherine got their medals for, covering this over with wind bushes when the lads were inside.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you just
Here,
discovered it
there was a
accidentally.
very small hole here in this ditch. That's how they came in. The winds covered it,
Uh-huh.
and then the roof was covered over with thorn bushes and stuff.
So everybody's dead.
And the
now.
original
Dead here.
thorns that were on the top of that, I picked them out of the bottom and put them in too high in the shed.
Wow. Wow.
So this is this yours or whose is this one? All right. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Where's the black and tans? Where are they? Here they are. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Here comes another one. Here comes the nurse. I got him. How many drinks did they have?
Watch it now.
Okay.
Everybody can drop out.
Mark, you come out.
You're like quick.
Drag him with you. Drag him with you.
Andrew, how are you? Good to see you.
I'll do you a pick mark, no bird. The sheep are taking cover.
Oh, they are. They need to.
Dad, here, go over there and catch it. Come on. Daddy, the other two can help you with the last bit of it. Barry, do you want to catch it? Here, go on down a little bit to get a picture of you. Steady. What's there and get a sit up beside the boys. Here, Stephen, sit up beside the boys. Here, everybody look this way. Here.
Well, Andy, you'll have to move back in.
Here.
Hey.
Hello.
What are these?
Stephen.
The water up the game.
Follow him and let out of the church and crosses to the grave.
What you can do, really. Kathleen, take it down. Take it down.
Paganism, then you had Christianism, and then
What questions we're doing?
we're back then.
We're part of you.
I have more sense now. Did you want the fire brigade? This was going to happen.
We went down to this Donegal, China place. Back in Donegal town. Paraffin, yes, you want to see the spread they gave us. They had step dancing, music, everything.
I think it was he gave me father to do the same thing. Around the same. Yeah. So you love the braid in there.
Josh, here's his fake.
meet me, alas, they must be dead. But I must do my duty, these guns I mean to land, and so a small boat pull to shore on the lonely Bannistrand.
Good man, John.
Here I see we're hunting for Sir Roger high and low. They found him in McKenna's ford, says they, you are our foe. Says he, I'm Roger Casement, I came to my native land, and I mean to free my countrymen on the lonely Bannistrand. Well, they took him as a prisoner, and they sailed for London town. They put him in the tower, saying, you're a traitor to the crown. Says he, I am no traitor, but his trial he had to stand for bringing German rifles to the lonely Bannistrand. 'Twas from an English prison cell Sir Roger went to death. I'm dying for my country, he said with his last breath. They buried him in British soil, far from his native land, and the waves did sing a requiem on the lonely Bannistrand. But they took Sir Roger home again in the year of 65, and with his comrades of 16, in peace and tranquil life, his last fond wish it is fulfilled, to lie in his native land, and the waves will roll in peace again on the lonely Bannistrand.
Good on you, Johnny.
To wonder, sure the reason it is clear. One day I was in Belfast and I went down to the pier. I went across to England, 'tis a good few years ago, and that I am back again, as you already know. When first I went to England, sure I found an awful change. The choice of jobs and ladies, there was a huge range. But then when I was there a while, and I thought I saw it all, I wished to Christ that I could see my friends from Donegal. I worked on roads and buildings now, on streets and tunnels too. But one day when I was standing on a bridge near Waterloo, I saw a ship going up the Thames, and it made me change me mind. And I thought I'd like to see again the friends I left behind. Well, boy. Well, I went and bought me ticket now, without a word to one. I told the clerk I would be going to lovely sweet Strabane. I said I'd get a coach from there that would leave me almost home, and that if ever I got there, I never more would roam. Well, now that I'm back home again from across the ocean blue, I'm never going back again, the truth I'll tell to you. These people in this country are the greatest of them all. So farewell, God bless and keep you from a friend in Donegal.
I'm not a dancer.
You're not a dancer, you know. I miss a way out. My daddy's gonna dance now.
Love birds.
Get up there. Grab that woman.
She's probably gonna leave me for this guy now.
It's like sound woman. Mad as the rest of us.
Is Ellen and John still there?
Yeah, well, John's down there. I don't know where Aunt Ellen is. She might be lying down, maybe.
Huh?
She might be lying down. She wouldn't have gone home.
Oh, no.
She's in there. Trying to get her out. It's done.
Done did. Must think I'm dead.
Tell me this, it's kind of like you. Or both of them. A bit of both of you.
Very nice, very nice. Listen, I would do it.
Is that Jerry and his wife saying,
Well, there's a man, the lady, he's a man of higher renown. For he's in the brand air business over here in the London town. For a young load of wagons and American Model T. But the pride of his position is the yellow JCB. While he takes her down to Nelly's to the bell and to the crown. And the engine runs and diesel later and never lets him down. For he takes her to the Hegarty of the Donegal for the correct. With the lady at the steering wheel and the summies in the back. While there inside this chase made is a sight to behold. It's got curtains on the windows, upholstery green, white and gold.
Well, one of your Tommy.
Picture of a Bruton from the Doll in Dublin town. And there's one from John Major, but it's hanging upside down. While they takes her down to Nelly's to the bell and to the crown. And the engine runs and plays a later and never lets them down. For he takes her to the Hegarty's of a Donegal for the correct. With the lady at the steering wheel and the summies in the back. Well, he doctored up the JCB to give her more horsepower. And he thundered down the motorway at 100 miles an hour. when the cops came in to do to the lane, he put them blame for his sister into overdrive and he left them all behind. Well, he takes her down the knees to the bell and to the ground, and the engine runs and days a light, sure never lets him down. Or he takes her to the gallantries of it only for the correct, with the lady at the steering wheel and the somebody in the back. And the Pope became the Ireland, sure he had the Pope mobile, a fine machine on tarmac, but no good in the field. And when the chopper flew into not sure what a John Paul say, sure I'm going with the lady in that yellow JCB. Well, it takes her down the gillies to the bell and to the crown, and the engine runs and days a light, sure it never lets them down. For he takes her to the gallantries of it only for the correct, with the lady at the steering wheel and the subbies in the back. Well, the built of fame big airport over there is known as Knock, and when the Monsignor turned aside, sure he got an apple shop. For right beneath the heather, sure the water in ran free, sure he says I'll get the lady in a yellow JCB. Well, he takes her down to Nelly's, to the bell and to the ground, and the engine runs and days a light, sure it never lets him down. For he takes her to the gallantries of it only for the correct, with the lady at the steering wheel and the subbies in the back. Now when the boys go boarding with the choir, one play their side. Some go by London Transport, some take their rally bikes, some go by Chance's pony, but not our Mr. D. For when he goes down to Cricklewood, sure he takes their JCB. When he takes her down to Nelly's, to the bell and to the crown, and the engine runs on days a light, sure he never lets them down. But he takes her to the gallantries of it only for the correct, with the lady at the steering wheel and the subbies in the back.
Sean McHugh, he had Connington's bar rented.
Yeah.
And he had a car. And Sean McHugh drove on to McGrovery and the crowd up to McGuire's car then. And Andy made a recitation on the car plane, you know. But I got about 40 shots of whiskey for the end, but I never could down it. He would always say the first two verses, and then he would laugh, you know. And I only know the first two verses. And the verses when the left Sean McHugh draws him up to McGuire to play the card. That's the way it went. We all went into Sean's wee car. We said we fire luck. We headed for the card plane and the town of Edinburgh. And when we got into the house, they had a great big roaring fire, and we were all being very well by the lady called Mrs. McDaniel. And this song, this went on for a long time, but I never forget from all. Give it a couple of days. That's all I know. For all that I've heard and all that I've seen, sure the greatest of all ones to a wedding I've been. They came in their thousands to give him abuse, and that's how they married young Charlie the girl. The morning was fair, and the sun that shone bright, and Charlie stepped up some sedate and polite. He looked like a corpse, all dressed for the grave, and for 12 months before it, he hadn't a shave. The wedding took place to our Derby the wind, and straight to the rails poor Charlie was sent. Then on it went on, that never swung loose, and Maggie forever took Charlie the good.
I'm alright, where's I'm alright?
To poor Sharon and the wind, and the gay hearty night was their friends to spend. There were 3-star Guinness, lemonade and lime juice, all drank at the wedding of Charlie the Goose. Now the wedding went on, for it was a great spree, and the mess of the mob soon big Sergeant McGee. And he won them all against any abuse, says the law must protect young Charlie the Goose. When Charlie heard this, he smiled up at the bride, for he knew that he had the law on his side. He threw up his coat and he stripped in his shirt. Said the man that confronts me is sure to get hurt. And the mom, they heard this. They all called for a truce and they congratulated young Charlie the Goose. Now the wedding is over and they're settled down. Can you play the Elvis on me? And the terrace yard was their neighbours around. Shall we say and blesses the house that shelters the offspring of Charlie the Goose.
There's strange things done neath the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest ever did see, Peggy, was that night on the marge of Lake Labarge, acrobated Sam McGee. Well, feller, Sam McGee came from Tennessee where the cotton blooms and blows. Why, he left his doggone home way down in the south to roam. Well, Christ only knows. He was always cold, but the land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell. And he'd often say in his homely way, well, I figure I'd sooner live in hell. On a Christmas day, we was a-mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. Top of your cold Tommy through the practice fold, it stabbed like a driven nail. Of our eyes we'd close and the lashes froze till sometimes we couldn't see. Wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. On that very night as we lay pike-ticed in our robes beneath the snow, and the dogs were fed and the stars overhead, they were a-dancing heel and toe. Well, he turned to me and, well, Cap, says he, I'm going to cash in this here trip, I guess. But if I do, I'm asking that you won't refuse my last request. Well, fellers, he seemed so low that I couldn't say no. Then he says with a sort of moan, John, that cursed cold till I'm got right hold till I'm chilled clean through to the bone. It ain't being dead, it's the awful dread of an icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear that foul or fair you'll commit these last remains.
Good man.
Well, fellers, a pal's last need was a thing to beat, so I swore I would not fail. We started on at the streak of dawn to me, but Christ, he looked ghastly pale. He was crouched on the sleigh and he raved all day of his home way down in Tennessee. And before nightfall, Frank, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. Now the corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid, I hurried horror driven, till there wasn't a breath in that land of death, but because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh and it seemed to say, we tax your brawn and brain, but you promised true, now it's up to you to cremate these last remains. And every day that quiet clay seemed to heavier and heavier grow, but on we went though the dogs were spent and our grub was a-getting low. On the long, long night, by the lone firelight, while the huskies around in a ring howled out their woes to those homeless snows. My God, how I loathed that thing. Till I came to the marge of Lake Labarge and an out derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice and I saw in it thrice it was called the Alice May. Well, I looked at it and I thought of it, then I looked at me frozen chum. And here said I with a sudden cry, Betty is my crematorium. Some planks I tore from the old cabin floor and I lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found that was a line around and I heaped the fuel higher. Then the flames just soared and that furnace roared, such a fire you seldom see. I borrowed a hole in that glowing coal and I stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I made a hike for it and liked to hear him sizzle so when the heavens scowled and the huskies howled, and the wind began to blow. It was icy cold, but the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks and I didn't know why. Then that greasy smoke and a mighty cloak were just streaking down the sky. I do not know how long in the snow I fought with grisly fear, but the stars came out and I danced about. Here again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, well, I'll just take a peep inside. I figure he's cooked, so as time I looked, then the door opened wide. And there sat Sam, looking cool and calm, in the heart of the furnace roar. He wore a smile, you could see him smile and he says, please close that doggone door. It's mighty fine in here, but I greatly fear you let in that cold and storm. Since I left Plum 3 way down in Tennessee, buddy, it's the first time I've at war.
Good man. The time we Wally McCollum, we Wally Campbell, he was learning to drive. Friend McHugh was teaching him. And Wally, being that Brand was interested in music, Wally got kind of interested, and he really wasn't interested, but he was talking to Brand music. And, have you ever heard that Latin or records or skitty A, skitty E, skitty anyway? You know, the more skitty the better, you know. But anyway, that's the way it is in that, you know, you have a flag going, you know that. But anyway, when he went to the town, when he bought this record, he met Brandon the next day and he says to Brandon, bought a record today. And so he said, get me up to hear it. So Brandon up to hear the record and he went, and Wally and his father was in the house. So the tune was on the record was, hey up, you probably know the name of the tune even, it was a jig. And when the way they were letting he upped to me and he upped to her. And when the turn of the tune came, it was like, he ups to me and he ups to her. And Wally looked to know that she must have been a great piece of stuff when she ups to him. So, you're going to say the ups to me and the ups to her. Oh, but that's it. You have to get the air conditioner running again, eh? That's soon to get it over it. You up to me and you up to her. That's it. Bird over there. No, great. If you jump right up in your ear, see that you. That's okay. Give me a William Johnson. So simple in its style, it has no braid of gold, they say, no hat with feather plume, yet my mother has preserved it all the while. Hey mother. There's a uniform that's hanging in what is known as father's room, a uniform so simple in its style. It has no braid of gold, they say, no hat with feather plume, yet my mother has preserved it all the while. One day she made me try it on, a wish of mine for years, in memory of your father dear, she said. And when I put the sunburn on, she was smiling through her tears, as she placed the broad black brimmer on me head. Just a broad black brimmer, a ribbon frayed and torn, may a careless miss the money's a mountain breeze. An old trench coat, it's so water-stained and worn, the breeches they are threadbare round the knee. A sun-brown bell with
the buckle big and strong. The holster has been empty, many's a day, but not for long. A men to admire the freedom, the one you choose to lead him will wear the broad flag rubber of the IRA.
And not my feet too high.
All the uniform been worn by me father long ago. When he reached me mother homestead on the run.
Why not?
All the uniform been worn in the little church below. When father mine, he blessed the fairest one. And at the truce and treaty, at the parting of the ways, he wore it when he marched out with the rest and the best. And when the bore his body down to the rugged other grave, to place the broad black rubber on his breast. Just a broad black rubber, a ribbon frayed and torn by a careless wisdom of the mountain breeze. An old trench coat, it's so rotten stained and worn, the breeches they are cramped around the knee. The sun-brown bell, the buckle big and strong, the holster has been empty, money's a day, but not for long. And the men admire his freedom, the one you choose to lead will wear the broad black rubber of the IRA.
Oh, yeah, boy, yeah.
John, sing Barnes Brown.
I want to sing.
Go on, don't be singing another.
All the singing done.
Oh yeah, no. What the men you'll sing afterwards.
You know what, John?
Sing next.
Sing it for you, man, you know it?
Oh, yeah.
It comes above the kitchen, is that it? Go ahead, sing it. Right. You go
It
this
hung above the kitchen fire, its stars long and brown. And one day with the boy's desire I climbed and took it down. My father sight with anger flashed, he cried, what have you done? Sure, I wish you'd left it where it was, that's my old thing.
Good man.
I fondled it with love and pride, I looked it o'er and o'er. I placed it on my shoulder as I marched across the floor. My father's anger softened and he shared my boyish fun. I well, said he, sure it's in your breed, like that old thing.
Good man.
I remember 67 well, he said, when lads like me all thought they'd strike another blow to set old iron free. But broken were our golden hopes, we were long months on the ground. But we did good work for Ireland then, with that old thing gone. It was down then in Kilmallock, it was the hottest fight of all. And there you see he bared his arm, the mark still of the ball. I hope the young lads going now will hold the ground we won, and not disgrace the cause in which I held the gun. I placed it o'er the fire once more, and I heard my father sigh. I knew his thoughts, they were turning back on days so long gone by. 'Twas then I found within my heart to be my father's son. And if Ireland ever once might, I would hold the thing on. That's years ago, I've grown to man and weathered many a gale. My last long years, they were spent inside of a gloomy English jail. I've done my part, and I'll do it still, until the fight is won. And when Ireland's free, God bless the men who held the fighting gun.
Good on you.
Unfair county in Ireland, that's washed by the wide western sea. That county is a part of our Ireland, so steeped in our grand history. O castle beside deep cheap haven, Loch Derrig, that island of prayer. Lost Willis, the flight of the Arabs, the saga is sung everywhere. It's the land where I was born, in the glory of life's morn. Although I'm now an exile, far from Christmas corn, though foreign lands be lovely, sure my heart's not here at all. For it's still back home in Ireland, in the county Donegal. Oh, where would you find so much beauty, with mountains and valleys galore? From Glencolum, Kildare, Montana, around Well and Gidore. As you go on the road to the Donning, around by the shores of Mulroy, a trip through our own old Tyrconnell, it sure is a journey of joy. It's the land where I was born, in the glory of life's morn. Although I'm now an exile, far from Christlacorn, though foreign lands be lovely, sure my heart's not here at all. For it's still back home in Ireland, in the county Donegal.
Good on you, Jimmy.
Well, you can't take the sea down now.
Where's the chef?
Oh, young lad named John Thompson, from the west of Fife he came to play for Glasgow Celtic, and to build himself an inn on the 5th day of September. Against the Rangers Club he played. From the fate he saved the Celtic, of it won the prize he paid. The ball rolled to the centre, and John came out and dived. The ball was cleared, but John lay still, for his club that hero died. I took a trip to Parkhead, to the dear old paradise, but when the players came out, a tear fell from my eyes, for a famous face was missing from the green and white brigade, and they told me Johnny Thompson, his last game he had played. For the fans, they are all silent as they travel near and far. No more they'll cheer John Thompson, that bright and shining star. So play of Glasgow Celtic, rise up and play the game. Johnson is the name. So goodbye, my darling Johnny. Friends of players, we must part. For the more will stand and cheer you from the slums of Stanley Park.
Well, I think the singing's going on long enough. My feet's getting very itchy. Do you want to sing?
I dreamt last night of access to my dreaming. I'd die if I thought 'twould come surely to pass. I dreamt while the tears down my pillow were rolling that Teddy was courting another fair lass. And in I wake with a weeping and wailing. The pain in my heart was too deep to conceal. My mother cried, Nora dear, what is your wailing? And all I could answer was Teddy O'Neill. I seen the old cabin beyond the wee boreen. I've seen the old crossroads where we used to dance. I've wandered the lane where he called me his Doreen, and my girlish heart felt the thrill of romance. But now all around is so sad and so dreary, all dark and all silent, no pipers, no reel, not even the sun through the casement shines cheery, since I left my darling boy, Teddy O'Neill. Shall I ever forget when the big ship was ready, and the time it was come for my love to depart? Oh, I cried like a child, oh, goodbye to you, Teddy, with a tear on my cheek and a stone in my heart. He said 'twas too better his state he was roving, but what would be gold to the joy I would feel if he'd only come back to me tender and loving, still poor, but my own darling Teddy O'Neill.
Never mind how you'll call this bunch of they're doing nothing, you know. Big books for them. No. It'll be very easy, you know.
Oh, there she is there. Now he's going to take you out around.
You want to dance?
Try it out. Here.
Listen, don't make it too fast now. Now Billy's a good dancer.
treat them to late nights, sing a few songs. We'll talk to the neighbors of life in the town. There's so much to tell them, the time's dragging on. This is my homeland, the place I was born in. No matter where I go, it's in my soul. My feet may wander 1,000 places, but my heart still leads me back home to my Donegal. And then tomorrow we'll take a walk down to St. Mary's, find a sheltered spot. We'll kneel and pray there for folks that are gone, and hope they are proud of their wandering on. This is my homeland, the place I was born in. No matter where I go, it's in my soul. My feet may wander 1,000 places, but my heart still leads me back home to my Donegal.
You know that.
It's a big improvement for Charlie the Goose. Charlie the Goose will be a fiasco.
While the playing the music box was hitting a ragtime tune. Back at the bar playing a solo game sat dangerous Dan McGrew, and watching his luck was his life of love, the lady that's known as Lou. When out of a night that was 50 below and into the din and the glare, there stumbled a miner fresh from the creek, dog dirty and bloated for bear. He looked like a man with a foot in the grave who hadn't the strength of a louse, but he tumbled a poke of dirt in the bar and he called for drinks for the house. There was none to place the stranger's face, though we searched ourselves for a clue. So we drank ourselves the last minute, dangerous Dan McGrew. There are men who somehow just grip your eyes and hold them hard like a spell, and such was he, and he looked to me like a man who had lived in hell. With a face, most hair, and the stony stare of a dog whose day is done, as he watered the green stuff in the glass, the drops fell, one by one. And then I got to wondering just who he was, and reckoning what he'd do, and I turned my head, and there watching him was the lady that's known as Ruth. The stranger's eyes, they went rubbering around the room, and he seemed in a kind of haze, until at last the old piano fell in the way of his wandering gaze. The ragtime kid was having a drink, and there was no one else in the stool. Then the stranger stumbled across the room, and he flopped down there like a fool. In a buckskin shirt that was glazed with dirt, he sat, and I saw him sway. Then his taloned fingers fell on the keys, and my God, what that man was playing. Were you ever out in the great alone when the night was awful clear, and the icy mountains seemed to pen you in with a silence you most could hear, with only the cry of the timber wolf, and you camped there in the cold, a half-dead thing in a stark dead world, clean mad for that muck-cull gold? While high overhead, green, yellow and red, the northern light shone in bars, then you've a hunch what the music meant, hunger and night and the stars. And hunger not of the belly's kind that's banished with bacon and beans, but the gnawing hunger of a lonely man for home and all that it means. For a fireside far from the care of the door, 4 walls and a roof above, but oh, so crowned full of cosy joy and crowned with a woman's love. A woman who's nearer than all the world, as true as heaven is true. My God, her ghastly, she looks through her rouge, a lady that's known as Lou. Then of a sudden the music changed, so soft you scarce could hear, and you felt that your life had been looted clean of all that had once held dear. That someone had stolen the woman you loved, that her love was a devil's lie, that the best for you was to crawl away, that your guts were out, and the best for you was to crawl away and die. 'Twas the crowning cry of a heart's despair, and it stung you through and through. I guess I'll make it a spread misere, said Dangerous, down the road. The music almost died away, then it burst like a pent-up flood, and it seemed to say, repay, repay, and my eyes, they were blind with blood. And the thought came back of an ancient wrong, and it stung like a frozen lash, and the lust arose to kill, and then the music stopped with a crash. And the stranger turned, and his eyes they burned in a most peculiar way. In a buckskin shirt that was laced with dirt, he sat by a song's way. Then his lips went in a kind of a grin, and he spoke, and his voice was calm. Boys, says he, none of you know me, and none of you get a damn. But I'm going to state, and my words are straight, and I'll bet my Pope they're true, that one of you is a hound out of hell, and that one is Dan McGrew. I shook my head as I lighted up, and 2 men lay stiff and stark, pitched on his head, a woman screamed, and the light went up, 2 men lay stiff and stark, pitched on his head, and pumped full of lead, the dangerous Dan McGrew, while clutched to the breast of the man from the creeks was the lady that's known as Lou. Well, those are the simple facts of the case, and I guess I ought to know. Some say the stranger was crazed with hooch, and I'm not denying it so. I don't claim to be as wise as those lawyer guys, but strictly between us two, the lady who kissed him and pinched his poke was the lady who was
learned that.
Yes. Happily for
He
that.
didn't get it. They're very much book better.